Target, Chipotle Mexican Grill, Expanda Brand, Dick's Sporting Goods, MLS, NCSA, Nike, Positive Coaching Alliance, Premier International Tours, Soccer Shots, Sunmade, TA Petro, United Soccer Coaches, U.S. Soccer Federation, Wilson Trophy Company.
We made it to nationals, and that was amazing because we were one of the best. I think at the time it was 4 teams. It was a round robin, actually. So it was the best 4 teams in the whole nation, and so we thought we were just the next best thing since sliced bread. And I think that playing in that tournament was so surreal because you played against other club teams that were so good and at the same level as you that you don't necessarily always get the chance or opportunity to play against, which was so great for us because we were like, wow, these girls are like just as good as us, if not better, and we have to compete at the highest level and play these 3 games, or at that, it was a round robin, so we played the 4. But still, that just reminds me of how competitive I was and my teammates were at that age, which also I think helped me get to the next level. And being that competitive at the club level, I mean, has only helped me, continue to grow in my competitive spirit and level that I'm playing at right now.
The national championships was really, really special. I think that was like the biggest thing I had really won, and that's kind of for youth soccer growing up, that was kind of the ultimate prize. And I think we were always super ambitious in achieving that and to have that happen. And I think what's so special about youth soccer is that it's really your family. The girls that you grow up with become like your sisters, and you do everything, and there's just like such a strong camaraderie there. So to play with a team that you've played for a while with, and with these girls, it's a very special feeling to win something like that.
Those were really great moments because at such a young age, I feel like I was competing for something and really working hard to, perform for my team. And it was no longer just about, whatever the result is the result. I mean, at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some. But that was probably the moments that I was like, whoa, we got to win. We got a state championship on our hands that we could actually bring home. And I think those are really cool moments because, you remember a lot of the times that you win. You try to remember the losses as well because you do learn from them. But at the same time, you want to remember the wins that you have. So state championships were definitely a really important part of my memory.
Our state cup was fun. My team was very competitive. I mean, we had a lot of competition as well, but I can't remember how many we won. Maybe 9, I think, is what we counted with our team, which made it so much fun. That was always like the big goal at the end is win state cup, go to regionals, and go to nationals. And we always fell short going to nationals, which still hurts today to even talk about. But I had so much fun in those tournaments, and my team made it even 10 times better to be a part of.
I get to play now in front of huge crowds and with all this spotlight and attention, and I don't think I'll ever have that feeling that I did going through my U14 national championship. I remember winning state cup. I can tell you how I scored, what the score was. I remember going to Hawaii. That was our regionals, Region 4, and I remember that national championship. And I think that it stays with me so much because it was about camaraderie. It was about growing and learning who you were and, making these lifelong bonds.
My name is Tony McManus. We are the 01 Lady Lobos Rush out of Memphis, Tennessee. We were here in the finals last year. Unfortunately, did not finish it out, but that gave us a little bit of motivation going into this year.
It's been crazy, and it's just been really hard because everybody here is so good, and everybody is good because they win their state cup, and so there are other ways to get in, and so it's been really difficult. But we pushed through it, and we were able to come out on top.
For us, it's a little difficult because we work with a lot of underprivileged kids, kids that can't afford to really play at big clubs. So we're very small. We haven't been around very long. We put in a lot of work with the kids. We pick them up. We've been working with these guys, just try to give them a future, something to look forward to, get them out the streets, put them in a place where they can come and just have fun, meet other kids, and train hard, and just give them a goal, whether it's college or to the next level. So we've been very successful at doing that at this level. So it's been a great process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex here in Overland Park, Kansas, site of the 2019 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. I'm Todd Panula, and I'm here to bring you all of this evening's exciting under-14 girls group action as it's Tonka Fusion Elite against the Louisiana Fire. Tonka will be wearing their all-white kits, Louisiana Fire appropriately clad in all red. Tonka will give you their starting lineups first. Coming in on the field, it's going to be Hope Durenberger, joined by Lauren Doucet. Megan Sullivan joining the crew, as well as Madeline Raymond, Avery Lamp, Lily Nayar, Avery Petty, Tatum Starita, Charlotte Lee, and rounding out the starting 11 is Avery Olmstead. In between the pipes, it's going to be Madeline Schultz. For Louisiana Fire, their starting lineup will be Stella Martin, Jane Schneider, Chloe Burst, Sinclair Nolan, Aiden Carpenter, Alyssa Viquez, Kendall Guidros.
It's all good.
Alyssa Viquez, already said that one, my mistake. Veta Kitchen, and in goal it's going to be Olivia Ikamia. The one that I missed was Katie Mayhew. So we're underway with LA Fire in possession. LA Fire out of New Orleans, Louisiana, head coach Doug Freeze. Tonka Fusion out of Minnetonka, Minnesota, coached by Lawrence Soy. Tonka Fusion saw them on a news story the other day. They are the youngest team to come out of Minnesota to reach this far. Looking for a goal here in the early going, a collision between the goalkeeper and the defender, but Ikamia gets away with it. She had come out to try to make the grab. Ultimately, they only surrender a corner kick. So an early chance here for Tonka as they put it out towards the penalty spot. Goes over the defender, but unable to get a piece of that one. Calls for a foul go unheeded. Just incidental contact according to the center official. Not quite 2 minutes played here in the first half. We'll have 35-minute halves. Tonka getting the better of the possession here in the first 90 seconds or so. They come up the sideline with Sullivan. Sullivan puts it towards the top of the 18-yard box. Back the other way we go as it's under the possession of Mayhew. From the back line, Olmstead tried to send it up the wing. Now it's Doucet looking for a little bit of space. Gains the throw as it was well defended. Sticking a foot in was Martin. Dancing around is Petty. Back the other way for Carpenter. Looking for space through the middle. And a foul given on the far side. 2.5 minutes played here. Scoreless between LA Fire and Tonka Fusion. Just a little bit too high there for Starita. She's got a goal to her name, the lone goal so far for Tonka Fusion. Stepping into the middle is Starita, well defended. Kept in by Sullivan. Starita in the box, spun away. Guidros able to send it away. Tonka Fusion the Midwest runner-up, lost to Lou Fuse 1-0 on a penalty kick decisions. So far, Tonka Fusion 0-1, drawing 1-1 on day number 1 against the New Jersey Stallions. LA Fire, a little bit hard done. It's obviously down to the luck of the draw, how their seeding ended up playing out in this tournament, but they were the runner-up in the Southern Regional, where they lost to defeaters 5-1, and as luck would have it, bad luck in the case of LA Fire, they had to play defeaters again on the day that opened up this tournament. They lost by a score of 3-0 in that decision. So points at a premium right now for LA Fire. They really want to get a good result here today to keep their hopes alive going into the third day. Calls for a handball. Instead, railing up the field is Talbot, trying to serve one in. Not quite there for Burst. Kept alive by Schneider. Working it up the outside. Instead, it's going the other way. Viquez earns herself the throw. Settled down by Lee. Back the other way. Nolan had it taken. A chance now for Starita. Starita gave it off. Lee to the far wing. Tried to slice one back towards the top of the box. Wasn't quite there for Doucet. Burst. Showed a good bit of speed to catch up to that one. Slows it up, looking for help. And found nobody except for Maddie Raymond. Once again, booted away off the back line of Tonka. Lights come on as the sun sets in behind our broadcast position. Temperatures cooling off. Only got into the low 80s today. Another fantastic day here in Overland Park. But these two teams really getting the benefit of this weather. Picked up by Carpenter. Durhamberger all the way back to the keeper. Schultz sends it away. Through center. Mayar. And now Starita. Up through the middle. Picked up by Lee. Lee with an opportunity, puts a left foot into it, right into the defender. A little bit of a grab there along the top of the box. Referee allows it. Schneider looking to go back the other way. Comes here to the near side instead. Mayhew got turned around just a little bit. Ball kind of rolled off the body of Burst. She's able to figure it out, get it off through the midfield. Set up by Martin. Goes out to the left, a little too strong for Carpenter. She's able to keep it in along that touchline. Burst puts a right foot into it, and just over the goal. Some of the fans over on the far side didn't have the right angle on that one. They were hoping that that one went in. No such luck. 0 still up on the board. Not quite 8 minutes played yet here in the first half. Both teams have traded a couple chances back and forth. Martin up the middle, near side now for Mayhew. Pressure coming in from behind, and the pass doesn't connect as it was trying to get it to Guidros. She will have the throw-in upcoming as we get a pair of substitutes coming in for Tonka Fusion. First one to enter the field is Julia Lewis. Second one going to be Nicole Monahan.
What benefit do you get from that?
So Tonka Fusion trying to keep their legs fresh throughout this one.
Interesting strategy.
As we mentioned, they've already got a point in their back pocket. But that's kind of one of those situations where you get a draw on day one. You kind of have to put that out of your mind, because you can't think that you've already got a point going into day two. You need to treat it as though it's a fresh situation. Everything to play, though, for Louisiana Fire, as the Fire need to pick up some sort of points in this contest to give themselves a little bit of hope going into the last day, depending on results elsewhere. Martin had it nudged away from her possession as we're in the 10th minute of play. Just edges over that far side touch line, giving it back to Tonka Fusion. Nolan giving away along the sidelines. Battle for it along the far side, switching the point, trying to slide it through the middle. Mayhew saw it just out of her reach. Guidroz, a little bit of a heavy touch there, trying to steal it back. Too much contact into the midfield, and that'll be a free kick for Tonka Fusion.
You gotta play higher and combine with the two up front.
Lamp with the captain's armband, puts a strong right foot through it. Second attempt was taken by Nayar. Lamp heads it back, didn't quite come off the forehead the way she wanted it. Second chance, pushes it a little further out. Instead, it's intercepted though by Schneider as she comes up the left. Little step over, trying to fake the defender out, still in possession, and then finally knifed away. Kept in along the sideline by Viquez. Schneider puts one back out in front. Nobody there in red. Guidroz tried to put it into the middle. Stolen eventually by Carpenter. She takes it right back into the defender. Wins it again. Now Carpenter. That was just a bit off. Otherwise she would have had a good opportunity towards goal. Sullivan slides it over to the far wing. Monahan up the sideline. Now it's Lewis having to slow things up. Monahan lobs one over the top. Circling around the defender, putting it on that right foot, trying to get it in towards the box. Nobody really there. Stepping up, Lamp. Raymond gave it up. Sullivan. Saw that one go the wrong way. Schneider. Outside now for Martin. In touch over on the far sideline here in the 13th minute. No score yet. This game is settled into kind of a midfield battle. Both teams trading possession back and forth. Do the throw in all over again, a little further down the pitch.
Yep. Nothing.
Nayar tried to bring it down. Now the throw in to go the other way. Nice little touch around by Lee. Out for a throw. LA Fire. Started to be hemmed in just a little bit. It's Tonka Fusion. Starting to push forward in numbers a little more. Too tall there for Martin, but the foul given. A little bit of a nudge in from behind. Blasted up. Lamp trying to get up towards the forward line. Stepped on by Starita. Starita around one defender, but just nudged off the ball by Goudreau's. Burst was cut off before she could get there. Schultz looking for an outlet. Got it up towards midfield. Stepped into by Martin. Second attempt, this time by Schneider, up through the middle. Burst to Schneider, puts it on the left foot. And then she was walled off by two defenders. Burst, now a little bit in front, and she got underneath. A little over a quarter hour played here.
Yeah.
A little under 20 minutes to go here in the first half. Handful of substitutions coming in. First one to enter the field for Tonka Elite is Vesna Dennison. Also coming in for the same team is Lauren Doucet. And in for LA Fire, it's going to be Carolina Mahaffey. Touched up by Raymond. Continued on and intercepted once again in the midfield. Martin surveys what she's got. Ends up on the foot of Goudreau's. Martin again in the center circle. This time they go a little forward, trying for Carpenter. Nolan had to take it away. Nayar goes the other direction. Lee pushed it out towards the wing. And an opportunity for Tonka Fusion to find a little bit of space in front. They go up top. Dennison was there. Again, possession hard to come by as they try to enter the attacking third. Near side now for Doucet. She stepped into, good defending by Nolan. She takes it away. Goudreau's struggles to find the handle. Able to poke that one away from the attacking player. Now a giveaway along the back line. A chance and a save. Schultz in front of it after Burst tried to push it in along the ground. An awkward decision there as Raymond tried to play it back to her goalkeeper. She knew it wasn't going to run out, but that curled right into the path of Burst. She right-footed it, and I think the defender came in from behind, and even if she didn't get a piece of it, just her presence was enough to throw that one off. Just about halfway through this opening half. Day number 2 of this national championship round robin tournament. Everything's still to play for these two teams as that one just goes wide of that far post. Another good opportunity. This time it's for Tonka Fusion. Racing in along the near side was Doucet. And she kind of lost her footing there. She tried to plant. And we've seen that in day number 1 with some of these evening games. I think there's a little bit of dew that settles in on the field with the cooling temperatures. And sometimes the studs don't necessarily grab into the turf the way the players would like. Durenberger looking for space as they try to stretch out LA Fire. Coming up through the middle. A little bit of a heavy touch there from Dennison. This one will escape the field. As Raymond can breathe a sigh of relief. That one rolling along the touchline, but not for long, as it was too tall for Dennison to deal with. A trio of substitutions about to come in for LA Fire as they press on to the attack through the midfield. Martin sends it out wide. Guidroz just to the right of the circle. Up through center, Martin gets it from Carpenter. Nolan has it now. Good ball out towards the corner flag. Served back out towards the edge of the 6-yard area and smartly cleared. 21st minute. 4 substitutions going to come in now, as one of them will be for Tonka Fusion. Coming in for LA Fire. It's going to be Kylie Roussel, Martha Hammett, as well as Morgan Rotolo. In for Tonka Fusion, it's Avery Petty. So Petty will take the left striker role, pushing Starita over the far wing. Lunging out to kick that one away, somewhat awkwardly, and then unable to catch up to the second ball was Lee. Sort of roll out here on the near sideline. Throw in for Rotolo. Lee switching the point of attack. Durenberger goes out to the wing. And again, it rolls into touch. Hoofed high up into the air. Once again, another throw-in coming up for LA Fire. As time keeps on rolling by here in this first half. Neither team yet to really threaten goal completely, although each team has had a few opportunities towards the target, just not yet troubling the goalkeeper. The best chance of the game actually coming for LA Fire, as Burst was able to kind of lunge forward and kick one towards goal, and Schultz was able to deny that. Speaking of LA Fire, in control now with Rotolo. Sends it in towards the box, trying to get that one onto Burst, but not quite on the same page. Laced over to the far sideline, but Nayar didn't put enough touch onto it, and it'll roll out for another throw. A lot of throw-ins for LA Fire coming from that far sideline here. That one blasted up and out, so we'll have to find a new ball.
No ball.
Short throw, Martin tied it too close to the touchline. 25th minute of play. A little over 10 minutes left to go here in regulation in the first half. Substitution about to come in for Tonka Fusion, as both teams continuing to keep some legs fresh. Good job to keep it along that sideline by Monahan. It ends up rolling out eventually.
Sub.
Piquez's arm's going to get tired. She's had so many throw-ins here in the last 5 minutes or so. Coming in is Ava Matiga.
Sometimes it's hard
Matiga
to
comes
find in
in,
the crowd.
replacing Monahan over on the far side. Moved it up by Lamp, up towards the midfield stripe, looking for Petty. Back the other way, Martin. Lobbing one up the sideline. That one might stay in. Good job by Hammett to earn herself a dangerous opportunity here. Corner kick coming with about 9 minutes left in the half. Quickly taken. Putting it towards that near post. A couple players making the run for LA Fire, but out to make the grab was Schultz. She will slow it up. Numbers pushing forward now in white. No counterattack available. So Schultz just holding on, slowing it up. Another substitution here in the 27th minute. This time it's going to be Sullivan coming back in for Tonka Fusion. Too tall for Petty. Second opportunity, forcing a mistake. So that'll give the throw in once again to Tonka Fusion. Raymond puts it back in. Close on the sideline. Good job by Starita to hold it in. Pushes towards the end line, looking for a left-footed service. And again, you see that footing just kind of betraying some of these players when they put that plant foot down to try to get a hard ball across. Lee will take the corner, right-footed swinger towards the target. Going right towards the middle of the frame, and they had Durhamberger there. She got the head onto it, but couldn't direct it downward. 28th minute, and that's the first really good chance for Tonka Fusion in quite a while. You see a solid kick coming in. Ranging up with good hops was Hope Durhamberger. But again, she was just a step too far in and couldn't get any power in behind that one to direct it downward. once it kind of hops off the top of the forehead, it's always difficult to keep that one on target.
Come on, first one, white.
29th minute of play. Both teams have had a fair amount of chances. Finishing ball in the final third has yet to come. Nolan was spun around. Now an opportunity. Mahaffey sends it up. Burst. Little tap past the defender. Able to run onto her own pass. Drives it towards the end line. Pulls it back. That one looked like it went over, but the flag stayed down. Burst once again walking that tightrope, and this time she's unable to keep it in. The 30th minute. 5 minutes and change left in regulation. Hasn't been too much in the way of stoppages, so you wouldn't think there'd be too much time tacked on to the end of this one. Back for Raymond. Bobs one over the top, too far for Petty. She's able to get in front of that one initially. Keeps it away from Hammett. Sullivan. And now Lee right in the center circle, going far side. Running on is Matiga. Matiga trying to keep in front of that one, and she wins the corner, much to the applause of her coach, Lawrence Soy.
Is it 0-0?
Oh, well taken corner. Once again, Durenberger getting there, but not really in a spot to where she could steer that one in on goal.
Here comes the squad.
So Ikamiya is able to breathe a sigh of relief. Official didn't spot the substitutes about to come in. Raymond laced one towards the middle of the pitch, but Martin took it away. Matiga right on her back. Burst, looking for the pass. You see her running in, finally gets it. Slows it up with the left foot. Sees what she's got. Burst, once again. A little awkward there, couldn't be handled by Rotolo. Starita was spun around just a little bit. Here's Petty, and just a step too slow as that ball took an awkward hop off that initial touch. 3 minutes left in regulation. 0-0 the score. Now we'll get the substitutions. All three players re-entering the game, easy for me to say. Carpenter, Guideros, and Mayhew coming back into the game for LA Fire. Substitute also coming in now for Tonka Fusion. Jocelyn Weber will come into the game.
Neither do I. What the?
A little bit of confusion for the team out of Louisiana.
Oh, no one had the
Kaz thought she was coming out.
I want to know which one of them took her off.
bummer he noticed.
Well, let's say fifth grade. I got 3 kids coming on and 4 kids coming on. I'm not that bright, but I can count the 4. What I want to know is which kid decided to take 2 off.
Matiga put it into the box, trying to chase it down over on the far side, throws a shoulder in, and wins the throw. Counterattack opportunity. Raymond able to step up onto that one. Fourth official about to put the time up on the board. You see there, 1 minute of additional time will be tacked on to the end of this half. Intercepted in the midfield. Carpenter goes off to the races, looking to push it towards the left. Schneider to Martin.
You should have told me. I could have looked out for it.
Switching more point of attack. Doucet was able to step into that one. Nicely laid off. Doucet back through the middle, trying to get that one to Petty. Raymond will chase it down before it gets to the near sideline. Another giveaway. Burst, able to get in front of it. Carpenter spun around. Raymond trying to stay in front of it. This one will be played into touch off of one of the advertiser flags. Whistle could come at any time. You have to figure if Tonka can clear it away. The referee will blow the whistle, and there it is. Just a little over 1 minute of stoppage time added on, and we will head into the halftime break with 0-0 as your score. Both teams created a few opportunities, but none have hit the back of the net. We'll take a break here. Tonka Fusion Elite and Louisiana Fire 0-0 going into halftime. Stay tuned for more from the Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex just after this. Today's match is brought to you by AE Engine, AmericanEagle.com, Bag Tags, Target, Chipotle Mexican Grill, Expanda Brand, Dick's Sporting Goods, MLS, NCSA, Nike, Positive Coaching Alliance, Premier International Tours, Soccer Shots, Sunmade, TA Petro, United Soccer Coaches, U.S. Soccer Federation, Wilson Trophy Company.
We made it to nationals, and that was amazing because we were one of the best. I think at the time it was 4 teams. It was a round robin actually, so it was the best 4 teams in the whole nation, and so we thought we were just the next best thing since sliced bread. And I think that playing in that tournament was so surreal because you played against other club teams that were so good and at the same level as you that you don't necessarily always get the chance or opportunity to play against, which was so great for us because we were like, wow, these girls are like just as good as us, if not better, and we have to compete at the highest level and play these 3 games, or at that, it was a round robin, so we played the 4. But still, that just reminds me of how competitive I was and my teammates were at that age, which also I think helped me get to the next level. And being that competitive at the club level, I mean, has only helped me, continue to grow in my competitive spirit and level that I'm playing at right now.
The national championship was really, really special. I think that was like the biggest thing I had really won, and that's kind of for youth soccer growing up, that was kind of the ultimate prize. And I think we were always super ambitious in achieving that and to have that happen. And I think what's so special about youth soccer is that it's really your family. The girls that you grow up with become like your sisters, and you do everything, and there's just like such a strong camaraderie there. So to play with a team that you've played for a while with, and with these girls, it's a very special feeling to win something like that.
Those were really great moments because at such a young age, I feel like I was competing for something and really working hard to, perform for my team. And it was no longer just about, whatever the result is the result. I mean, at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some. But that was probably the moments that I was like, whoa, we got to win. We got a state championship on our hands that we could actually bring home. And I think those are really cool moments because, you remember a lot of the times that you win. You try to remember the losses as well because you do learn from them, but at the same time, you want to remember the wins that you have. So state championships were definitely a really important part of my memory.
Our state cup was fun. My team was very competitive. I mean, we had a lot of competition as well, but I can't remember how many we won. Maybe 9, I think, is what we counted with our team, which made it so much fun. That was always like the big goal at the end is win state cup, go to regionals, and go to nationals. And we always fell short going to nationals, which still hurts today to even talk about. But I had so much fun in those tournaments, and my team made it even 10 times better to be a part of.
I get to play now in front of huge crowds and with all this spotlight and attention, and I don't think I'll ever have that feeling that I did going through my U14 national championship. I remember winning state cup. I can tell you how I scored, what the score was. I remember going to Hawaii. That was our regionals, Region 4, and I remember that national championship. And I think that it stays with me so much because it was about camaraderie. It was about growing and learning who you were and, making these lifelong bonds.
My name is Tony McManus. We are the 01 Lady Lobos Rush out of Memphis, Tennessee. We were here in the finals last year. Unfortunately, did not finish it out, but that gave us a little bit of motivation going into this year.
It's been crazy, and it's just been like really hard because everybody here is so good, and everybody is good because they win their state cup, and so there are other ways to get in, and so it's been really difficult. But we pushed through it, and we were able to come out on top.
For us, it's a little difficult because we work with a lot of underprivileged kids, kids that can't afford to really play at big clubs. So we're very small. We haven't been around very long. We put in a lot of work with the kids. We pick them up. We've been working with these guys, just try to give them a future, something to look forward to, get them out the streets, put them in a place where they can come and just have fun, meet other kids, and train hard, and just give them a goal, whether it's college or to the next level. So we've been very successful at doing that at this level. So it's been a great process.
Elite and Louisiana Fire. LA Fire into the attack quickly as Carpenter works it into the box, goes to ground as she lost control. It will stay in favor of the team out of New Orleans with the throw. Up to grab it is Viquez, trying for burst. Viquez gave it off. Stepped into by Durhamberger. Out in front. Tonka Fusion looking to spring a counterattack. Way too hard to get it on to Petty. It's filtered through to her on a second attempt. And now Starita using that long stride to catch up to this one here on the right. Viquez defending. Starita touches around, and that one escapes, so we'll have a goal kick.
Hey, Panther, I need to have your work rate from you there, okay?
Given away, now a long shot coming in. A diving save. That ball stayed in afterwards as well. A long shot ended up troubling the goalkeeper. She was able to get down and parry that one away.
Hey, one of you has to check down. One of you stay high.
You see it given away here. Brought down
Hey, Scott, can you tell how many people
by
are watching on
Dennison.
screen?
A little skipper. Camilla was able to come out, get a hand to it as she stretched out about as far as she could. Corner kick upcoming this time. It's Tonka Fusion starting to build on an attack of their own after the LA Fire. They're quick out of the gate.
Yeah. Oh.
Loose As it comes back towards the top of the box. We'll send it back outside. Lee cuts through 2 defenders and a third. And then it just got too far away from her. She steps into another one, but there just wasn't enough space to generate any kind of power with a defender right in front of her.
Action's always behind us.
Both coaches a little bit frustrated with how their players have managed possession here in the first 3 minutes or so of the second half. Scoreless for both teams. This kind of result would definitely benefit Louisiana Fire in terms of giving them an opportunity on the last day, depending on how the results shake out in the other game. They would much prefer to get 3 points out of this one, as they were defeated by defeaters, no pun intended, on day number 1. Defeaters, the Southern champion. Quickly up the wing, last off of Starita. She tried to sell it, but she knew that it went off of her. A lot of these throw-ins barely going a yard infield. Obviously, if your teammate is lined up that close to the touchline, not too much you can do. You don't want to send it into space where nobody's at.
That's a lot of parents.
It's still kind of difficult to deal with when you're tiptoeing along that line. Viquez throws it in again. Again, she's been doing almost all the throw-ins here today, especially the ones that have come along the left wing, which was almost the entire first half. And she does it all over again here, starting the second. Again, that one tiptoes the line, and that's kind of what I was talking about. Difficult to keep those in if you have any kind of spin back towards the touchline, because you're not giving yourself enough space. Starita able to step in, take it away from Viquez. Petty, 2 defenders around her. She's able to lob one over the top. Stays in along the near side touchline. Stumbling just a little bit was Dennison. Saw it taken away. Carpenter. Now Petty drives into the box. Left foot, looking to get a right-footed cross, and couldn't get enough of a curl on that one. A little bit of a smirk coming there from Ikamiya. I think she was sharing a laugh with her teammate. Just the awkwardness that she had kind of played that ball into the logo in behind the net. Coming into the game for LA Fire was Sinclair Nolan, as we get an early substitution from Coach Freeze. Burst just outside the half line. Now Carpenter racing up the middle. A little step over and twice. Gets it back to Burst. Got a defender right on her back. Slices out towards the far side and now peels back towards the middle. And then the return pass was just out of the reach. Viquez tried to get it around the defender. Had the speed to recover, but then she stumbled just a little bit. And the throw-in will favor the LA Fire.
Yeah, it comes up in your news feed.
Lee trying to get it up to Starita. She's able to take the bump from Nolan. Petty, left foot, taken by Dennison. Dennison sees what she's got in the way of options, cuts it into the box. Solid defending. Comes back out just right at the penalty spot by a few yards. Counterattack opportunity for LA Fire. And that's stepped into by Doucet. Homestead fires it over to the far wing. Raymond is there. Carpenter lobs one over the top. A rare throw in taken by LA Fire that wasn't taken by Viquez. They do it again as it was quickly sent out. Starita, once again, a defender right on her. She's rarely had much possession here when she's fielded the ball with her back to goal to where a defender wasn't right there trying to take possession away. Dennison out-muscled. Space a precious commodity here along the sidelines. One initially by Durenberger. Doesn't quite get it to Petty, but it is filtered on through. And then the return pass to Petty was a little bit in behind. Flicked off the head of Doucet. Durenberger able to fake out her defending player. Again, they look up top to Petty, not quite on. Nudge from behind. Lamp to the far wing. Nayar looking for a little bit of space, and she runs out of it. Two substitutions coming in. The next dead ball. Viquez pushing up through the middle. Awkward collision in the midfield. She's still in possession though. Looking for numbers in red. Ball pilfered away. Kept alive here along the near sideline, at least briefly. But it does end up rolling out. Now we'll have 3 subs coming in for Tonka Fusion. It's going to be Sullivan, Monahan, and Lewis all entering the game for the squad out of Minnetonka. Martin played it up through the middle, looking for burst, had her pocket picked as Olmsted came in from behind. Nicely weighted ball over towards the left-hand side. 10 minutes in here in the second half. Back up through the middle. Lamp. Here's Lewis all the way back. Coach Soy getting a little bit salty about the direction of his team. Finally, they get it into the box. And a shot. Score! Starita looked like she had slipped on the shot, as we've seen so often during today's game. But she got through it enough to get it past the goalkeeper. And Tonka Fusion has the 1-0 lead.
We got some subs.
Second goal of the tournament for Starita. She gets this one in the 45th minute. 46th, I should say. You see her, she slipped up just a little bit, but she was able to tuck it inside that near post. And I almost think the slip was enough to throw Ikamiya off. I think she thought that one was probably going to go to the far side, and when it ended up switching, she wasn't quite ready and not able to react. She still gave it a good stretch out for it, as Nolan sends this one up. LA Fire now trying to find their way back into this contest. They've played a solid game, but the goal goes against them in the 46th minute. A chance here from Lewis, Julia Lewis. Rolls one over towards the near side, and that one doesn't quite get on through. Monahan Looking to get it back to the throw. Burst up through the center. Hammett, who just checked in moments ago, sees it roll away. She intended that one for Carpenter. Schneider was actually the intended player. You see her there on your screen. Tonka Fusion pushing in on the attack. Starita sends it towards the edge of the 18 as a couple players go down. 49th minute. Ball pops loose into the middle. Bit of a shoulder challenge. Monahan. It's headed away. Continued on by Martin. Martin again, this time outside. They find Burst trying to get in behind the defense, unable to do so. She'll aim an attacking throw. LA Fire trying to keep it in this attacking third.
Megan, play higher. You can always come in.
Cleared out by Lee, at least for the moment. He draws, put it back in. Just not too much in the way of options right now. Brought down towards the top of the box. Not very cleanly though. And the defender able to sweep it out. Good job by Rotolo, at least initially. Schneider. Over to the right.
Yep.
Kind of in between options. Guidros. Let it roll on through for her teammate. Now it's on the foot of Hammett. Burst from the middle.
Okay.
Trying to draw it back in. Burst. Left-footed shot. Ends up wide. Not a bad opportunity to take the shot. I think she wanted to get a little more curl on that one and couldn't quite get it to do it. Back into the game is Avery Petty for Tonka Fusion.
The power cord goes in the bags, right? The bags come down. Yeah.
1-0 your score. A 46-minute goal from Tatum Starita.
Whatever it is.
Martin goes to the right. The pass was stepped into. Second opportunity.
Move our feet now. Just
Trying to go to the middle this time. Neither one worked out. Rotolo. Martin. In behind Schneider, trying to go out to the right. Numbers back in white right now, though. There's a couple subs going to check in. LA Fire going to get a couple fresh legs in. Kylie Roussel, as well as Aiden Carpenter. 52nd minute, 1 goal difference. Pops high up into the sky. Back to action. LA Fire looking for some sort of answer. Looking for a foul, none to be had. Possession given away here. Stolen right back by Kinchin. Kinchin able to pick the pocket again. Burst in the area, outside to Carpenter. Wants it on that right foot. Good service towards the top of the box, headed towards goal, and dealt with by the defender. Kinchin kind of threw the hip in as the defender unwisely put her head down. Now we get a foul in the midfield circle. So you see the clearance come out here. And Johnson a little bit shaken up.
Lampy and Avery, two center back. Millie, come back in the middle. Julie, you're off.
We got a sub too.
Hey, Maddie, looks 4.
CC Johnson getting a little bit of attention there from the officials. Seemed to be kind of a wrist injury. She landed somewhat awkwardly. Substitute coming in for Tonka Fusion is Lauren Doucet. Trying to get that one over the top to Starita. Not cleanly handled along the back line. Racing to keep this one in is Raymond. And she'll roll it out over along the far sideline to allow numbers back for Tonka Fusion. Trying to lob one over the top with the throw in, unsuccessful in doing so. Tonka Fusion wins the throw as Doucet was able to play it off a player in red. 54th minute of play, 1 goal difference. Starita slowing it up. Apparently never came in. Petty able to handle that one nicely after it took an awkward skip off the field. Headed away by Rotolo. Petty left it. Now a bit of speed picked up through the middle. And that one was a bit ambitious. It was touched on the way through. Well, the shot coming in from Lee will lead to a corner from the same player.
Yeah. Like that?
Good service. Just outside the 6-yard area. Dealt with initially. Nyard trying to put it back into the mixer. Too many red shirts in front. Counterattack opportunity. Rotolo sends it up top. Good body to push it towards the outside. Carpenter with a little bit of space now. Peels it back towards the top of the box. Burst, right-footed shot. And the goalkeeper, Schultz, able to see that all the way.
Hey, come on, girls. Get the first touch. Get up! Get up! Get up!
Pushing up the field. Martin comes back to take that one out of the side pocket of Starita. She was picking up a little bit of speed. Goal came about 10 minutes ago. Tonka Fusion looking for a second one. LA Fire looking for the equalizer. Lee brings it down off the pitch. Raymond up the sideline. Too hot to handle for Petty. Back the other way we go. Martin. A little touch pass to the right. Sent along by Hammett. Into touch. And again, another throw in for the Fire. Hammett brings it down. Burst. Has to curl back. All the way back towards midfield. 3 substitutes going to come in. 2 for LA Fire, 1 for Tonka. As Starita pushes in onto the attack. But the flag was up. Much closer to midfield, about halfway in between the half line and the end line. That'll allow the substitutions to be made here as we enter the 58th minute. Back into the game for Tonka Fusion is Megan Sullivan. Also coming back in is Viquez and Quidros. Hope you're enjoying this contest. 9:38 local time. So a little bit late for some of you, but everybody watching likely in the central time zone. Martin stepping into it, keeping it alive for the Fire, trying to send it over to Guidroz over on the right side. She's able to get to it this time. Defender right on her. Awkward sending back towards Martin, but she's able to knock it down. Plays it more towards the right. But again, Tonka Fusion with players always in the way. Starita looking to take it up on the counter herself. Sends it into the middle. I think she expected a run to be made, but kind of a blind pass in the end. Durenberger had it stolen away. Played over here nicely weighted on the right. Left side, I should say, Carpenter. Durenberger was able to knock that one away just a little. Now a left-footed shot. That one blocked. Second opportunity. Schneider couldn't get a foot through Johnson. Kinchin able to hold it in. Viquez electing not to go for the throw-in. Rolls it towards the corner. And it will escape the field. Sub coming in for LA Fire.
Yep.
Back into the game now is Katie Mayhew. Mayhew will come in for Martin. And one more sub coming in is it's Mahaffey entering the game. Blasted out. Starita couldn't knock it down, just out of midfield. Schneider, pressure coming from behind.
Oh, thank you.
Kinchin played it up.
Oh, no
Now
way.
onto the right. Nayar.
So they can hear everything I say? Wow. Oh.
About 9.5 left in regulation. Again, much like the first half, not too much in the way of stoppages. So as of right now, there wouldn't be a whole lot of time added on to the end of this one, other than for the goal. Kinchin played it right into Starita, who was putting on some pressure, and she's a little bit shaken up. Tussle there. Mahaffey was unable to come away with it. Rolls out for another Tonka throw in. Another chance for Nayar to put it back in. Starita dueling with Kinchin. Kinchin able to send it upfield a little bit. Lee switches the point of attack, going back towards the midfield. Lamp to the left. Raymond up the sideline, intending that one for Petty, and it'll go out. Starita came back, made the steal. Calls for it again here on the near sideline. Defender stepped in nicely as Kinchin was able to win that one. That puts it up towards the attacking line. They will win a throw-in. It's going to roll almost all the way onto the other field. Carpenter trying to grab it quickly, wants to waste as little time as possible. Substitute coming in for LA Fire. As Rotolo returns to the game. She replaces Roussel. Carpenter about to come back in after she got a breather. Up towards the corner flag. Guidros took a bit of a knock, able to stay on her feet. Ultimately too close to the sideline now. So when Carpenter comes back in, so will Julia Lewis for Tonka Fusion. Again, those throws kind of tied in to the far sideline and the near. Flicked up the line. Kept in this time. They push it back towards the middle of the pitch. Nolan sticks out an arm in an attempt to keep possession. And again, we'll have another throw, this time for the Fire. A little under 6 minutes left in regulation. Petty in behind the midfield portion of the defense. Serves it up to the far side. One touch cross. All the way back to Durenberger as she crossed the midfield line. Flicked on by Kinchin. So they have to deal with this as it closes in on the end line, and they just send it over the near side. Nyarn in no great hurry to get it in. This time she'll take it up towards the corner flag as they try to kill off a little bit of time. Another throw in for Tonka Fusion. They go short with it again, and this time an illegal throw is the call. Back the other way as it rolled off the body of Mahaffey. Petty doing a good job of holding this one up along the sideline. Mahaffey sticks in a leg, able to make a steal for a moment.
What is going on?
Now the throw will come out. Petty doesn't agree with it. Schneider gave a bit of a shove. Hard ball into the box, but no much further.
Drop early, drop early! AP needs your help!
Up through the midfield, trying to get it on for burst. Couple substitutions about to come in, one for each team. As the ball rolls out over on the far sideline. Guidros will return for LA Fire. Also coming back in after a brief respite is Starita.
We got a sub.
Panther, go. Dana, left forward. 3-4-3. 3-4-3.
So Coach Freeze going to throw caution to the wind as he's moving to a 3-4-3 formation, knowing that his team needs to push forward and look for a goal, a potential equalizer. Puts Guidroz back in at left back, knowing that she's got the speed to be able to recover, as well as a little bit of offensive ability should she get any kind of space here on the near side. They've also pushed Kinchin up into a more forward role. She had initially been back on the wing. Good job by Starita to keep it alive. Bit of a push from behind, and nothing but a throw in going the other way. A little too tall for Sullivan. Durenberger has pressure coming from behind. Burst, thought the ball was still there. She was trying to gain position. Too tall for Kinchin as it goes the other way. Sullivan continues it on its journey. Guidroz miscued through the midfield. Sullivan sandwiched between two players. About to put the board up, showing how much time's going to be put on to the end. Try to find a little bit of space over on the far side. Final minute of regulation. We'll find out any stoppage time here in a moment as they try to get a substitution in the meantime. Coming back into the game will be Petty.
We got a sub.
Petty going to replace Lewis. Free kick will be handed to the LA Fire when we restart things. Now the official about to put the board up.
We have the board.
Only 1 minute of additional time going to be tacked on to the end as we are in stoppage time right now. So every second a precious one right now for Louisiana Fire. They get it up towards the forward line and try to push it in. Burst had that one knocked away. Off to Sullivan as she sends it over to the far wing. Tonka Fusion just trying to kill this one off. They've got the 1-0 lead on a goal from Starita back in the 46th minute. This one into touch, given back to the Fire. Not too much time left to push up field. If they can keep in possession, the officials usually allow them to have whatever kind of attack they can build. But if it stays with Tonka Fusion, the whistle will probably come sooner rather than later. Burst, trying to get it over to the near side for Kinchin. Wasn't quite there. Guidroz had it just stabbed away from her and rolled into touch. Guidroz quickly up the line. Too tall for Kinchin as Durenberger went over the top. And there's the whistle. Full time. And all 3 points go to Tonka Fusion Elite. It was an evenly played game by everyone involved, but ultimately it was the goal from Tatum Starita, her second of the tournament and lone goal of the contest, that would be the difference in this one. She was able to put one past Olivia Ikamia back in the 46th minute, and that would stand the test of time with a 1-0 final. So Tonka Fusion improves to 1-0-1. They now have 4 points on the tournament and have set themselves up nicely to get any kind of result and advance to the knockout stages come after tomorrow. A lot to be left on the table for Louisiana Fire. Depending on other results, they could be eliminated, but we do not know that for sure. But through 2 games, picking up no points, it's going to be difficult to accomplish. Nevertheless, they showed well here in this contest and have done themselves proud, even though they couldn't come up with a result. That'll do it for us here from the Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex. We hope you enjoyed this evening's contest. For everybody here at Turbo Sports Group, I'm Todd Panula. Until the next time, have a good night.